256-234-6221. Now, let's join Brett, Randy, and Luke for the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Good Saturday morning and welcome into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. I'm Randy Lee, and hopefully I'll be joined by another host here at some point in time this morning, but it's early and it's beautiful outside on this Saturday as we rounded up high school football last night throughout the state of Alabama, and really enjoyed getting out over in Opelika, Alabama, as Brett and I called the Opelika and Benjamin Russell game, and it was a good one for a short period of time, and then Opelika imposed their will and was able to get away with a big victory last night, 45-17. I'll talk a lot about that this morning. I'll take your comments on Facebook. Also would like to welcome in all of you out there throughout the state of Alabama that's tuning this one in on Charter Channel 21, as well as Charter Channel 187 and 190 throughout the state of Alabama. We've always been on here in the Lake Martin region on Charter Channel 3, and we continue to be there, along with 97.5 Kalijah Country. So thanks for all of you tuning in out there. I wanted to run down some statewide scores and maybe give a little insight on some of these games last night. As you can see down at the bottom of the screen, you can give us a phone call at any point in time, 256-234-6221. Let us know your thoughts on high school football last night, and I will talk about those and would love to hear from you this morning. I'll start in Class 7A. It was region set up last night, so you're going to see some games that mean major implications in how those region play ends up here in this football season. So we'll start in Class 7A last night. Bob Jones 21-2 over Grissom. It was Central Phoenix City continuing their strong run in Class 7A, trying to come back and win their second consecutive state championship this year, and they're playing extremely well, especially on the offensive side of the football. They win over Enterprise last night, 42-13. It was Davidson 35-14 over Mary Montgomery. Fairhope 26, Baker 6, Florence 28, Huntsville 23. I'll be heading over to Florence today for the Shoals Music Fest, so I'm looking forward to going over to that beautiful community this morning, and it should be a lot of fun for that. Hoover 44, Tuscaloosa County 7. That was a Thursday night game, I believe, this week, and Hoover, always tough to come through in the northern half of the state, and it will be much the same this year as Hoover defeats Tuscaloosa County 44-7. It was James Clemens 62-7 over Gadsden City last night. Jeff Davis 31, Smith Station 14. McGill-Tulane continues their strong play in the southern half of the state, 42-0 last night over Foley. They're one in this part of the state, at least, we probably don't talk about as much as we should. I'm sure if you live down there with Ben Thomas and his entire crew with AL.com and what they do, and they do a tremendous job covering high school sports here in this state, I'm sure you get a lot of reporting on McGill-Tulane and some of those southern schools here in the state of Alabama. We just don't hear as much about or read as much about them up in these parts. And then by the time the end of the season comes around, it seems like in every sport, it's McGill-Tulane that's in the mix. Expect the same this year. They've got a strong team down there. 42-0 over Foley last night. Mountain Brook 42-14 over Oak Mountain. It's a strong year in the city of Birmingham and the surrounding area. Some really good teams. Vestavia with a great team this year. Mountain Brook with another great team. And Mountain Brook just consistently puts a solid product out there on the field. And they did again last night with a 42-14 victory over Oak Mountain. Prattville, 20. Lee Montgomery, 3. That's a big victory for Prattville. Every week I feel like I'm up here kind of banging the drum for Lee Montgomery, because once you get to the playoffs, you don't probably want to see that team coming to your home or going to them because of the athleticism that we see from Lee. And Central Phoenix City able to slide by them last year, and with that victory they go on for a state championship. But it was hard fought over at Phoenix City last year for them to win that football game. And they do, Prattville. On the come up, Caleb Ross, a homegrown product, had a great run down at McGill in the southern half of the state. Comes up for 1 year at Opelika, has a good year there at Opelika. decides to go back home to Prattville. And since he's been back home at Prattville, they have started to build something I think that they're going to be proud of. Our good friend Stacy Mills works with us on the HSA radio network, our major producer when it comes to our events that we go out and cover on a statewide scale. And Stacy loves high school football, but he loves his Prattville Lions maybe more than anything. And I know he's proud to see what's going on here as Prattville takes down a very good Lee Montgomery team 20-3. Sparkman 24-21 over Austin. A great win last night for Sparkman to take down a very good Austin team 24-21. Theodore 32, Murphy 7, Thompson 47, Spain Park 23 last night. Great win for Thompson as Thompson taking down a very game and really great offensive team there at Spain Park, 47-23. That football game was really close in the early going, but it didn't hold up that way as Thompson able to run away with it there at the end. Great win last night for Vestavia. Vestavia playing great defense in the Birmingham area. 19-14 against Hewitt-Trussville, so congratulations to Vestavia. We may be having a little technical difficulties out there. I'm going to go ahead and take our first break this morning, Reed. We'll go ahead and take a break, try to clean this up. I'm not sure I'm getting any audio out there. At least that's what I'm hearing. So I apologize and want to thank all of you for continuing to tune in. But give us a phone call if you get a chance, if you can't hear anything I'm saying right now. 256-234-6221. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota. We'd like to announce our new lifetime warranty on any new Toyota.
Hashtag lifetime warranty.
Hashtag we love our customers.
It can be used nationwide at no additional cost.
Hashtag customer service.
So come on by and let us show you
the Vaden way.
Hashtag maintenance matters.
Hashtag totally awesome.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, just a short drive from home or online.
Hashtag your neighborhood dealership.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn on South College. Kia's at 0% financing and no payments for 90 days. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn.com.
This is Coach Pat Kia of Auburn, you are always number one.
All will be corrected shortly, and again, we want to thank all of you for tuning in throughout the state of Alabama. I think all is well on social media, so hang in there with me. I'm going to talk a lot about our local area games here coming up in the next couple of segments. I would appreciate your phone calls this morning if you have thoughts. I'm up here, the Lone Ranger, and I will trod through those, so make sure to call in. 256-234-6221. As I look down at the bottom half of the screen, I want to thank Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air for their great sponsorship for our Sports Blitz programming for quite some time. Make sure to call on them here in the Lake Martin region. I got through Class 7A, and Class 7A had some big football games last night. We talked about some of those in the Birmingham area as we closed out that first segment. And I'm not sure if you heard, but a big victory for Vestavia as they take down a very game Hewitt-Trussville team. 19-14 last night. That's not the score we've been seeing from Hewitt-Trussville over the years. It's been more of the 49-42 game with Paul Tyson and all of that offensive output that we've seen from Hewitt-Trussville over the years. But Amani Goodwin and some of the others that we are not seeing this year due to an injury with Goodwin, hopefully he'll be back at full strength next year. Probably a part reason that we're seeing Hewitt-Trussville not put up the points that we've seen in the past, but still a great program, but a great win for Vestavia last night, 19-14. Let's move down to Class 6A, and in Class 6A, again, region matchups last night, some big ones in the state of Alabama and some big victories for some of these teams. Albertville, 42, Hazel Green, 14. It was Athens over Coleman, 31-17. Athens got out to a great start to the football game last night. As we're out calling games on Friday night, tend to look down on our Twitter feed, kind of add a little bit to our broadcast on what some of the scores are throughout the state. And as we looked down last night, Athens took a commanding lead there in the early part of that football game and held on late for a Coleman team that is playing really good ball so far this year. But congratulations to Athens, 31-17 last night. It's BC Rain, 40 over Robertsdale, 28. Bessemer City, Andrew Zhao, head coach there in his first year, is taking over a program. We saw them in 2015 come to the Sportplex here in Alexander City for the quarterfinals. Tremendous athletic team from Bessemer City. We were able to defeat that night. But it was a tough one. Bessemer City continues their consistent winning as they take down Hillcrest Tuscaloosa 31-7. Maybe somewhat of an eye-opening score throughout the state of Alabama in Class 6A when you look at Bessemer City taking down Hillcrest 31-7. It was Clay Chalkville 31, Shades Valley 13. Clay Chalkville is not a team you want to match up with when it comes playoff time. Always great athleticism. Always coached extremely well. They have a state championship in the last decade that they can hang their hat on. Big victory for them last night, 31-13 over Shades Valley. Daphne in the southern half of the state, getting off the schneid. They had a few bad weeks of play, but they come back with a big victory last night over Baldwin County, 42-7. It's Dothan, 44 over Carver of Montgomery, 20. Eufaula, every week I look down, Eufaula is scoring a ton of points. They did it again last night to a good football team from Montgomery and Park Crossing. It was 50-29. When you see Eufaula scoring like this, I've seen enough of them over the years to know the athletes that they can throw out in each sport. I would love to watch them this year. So if you're in the Eufaula region and you've been out and you've seen some of these games, give me a phone call, 256-234-6221. Let me know what's going on over in Eufaula. You know, you think back to that Jarrell Jernigan group that won a state championship. That's been quite a while ago. He was a great player at Troy also. But that's the type of athlete that you can see come through Eufaula from time to time, and that's what they're having right now with a big victory last night over Park Crossing, 50-29. It was Fort Payne, 42, Lee Huntsville, 0 last night. Hartselle, 76 over Columbia, 0. Helena, big victory for them last night over a rival and what will continue to become a rival in Chelsea. 31-28. Chelsea's off to a tremendous start to their season after a couple of down years in Chelsea. And Helena is building something that community can be proud of in that part of the state. As Helena, new school, if you haven't been out to that new facility, you're really missing out. All of those schools up in that neck of the woods putting together tremendous athletic programs up and down the line. Helena, I think, won a state championship in baseball in like year 2 or 3 of the program's existence. Now they're playing extremely well on the football field also. Big victory over Chelsea last night, 31-28. It was Hueytown 42-14 over Northridge. May Jemison 35, Buckhorn 21. Minor 28-0 over Homewood. Down year for Homewood. You don't too often look at a Homewood program and go, man, what's exactly going on there? But we all get them. Each community out there has their down cycles, and Homewood has not had many of them. One of the programs that you look back over my lifetime, at least, I'm in my early 40s, Homewood has always put a tremendous product out there on the field that community can be proud of. They'll do that again. Just maybe somewhat of a down cycle there in Homewood as they lose last night to Minor 28-0. Muscle Shoals, watch out Class 6A. They can get it going, and they got it going this year. 49-13 over Decatur. They got some top-notch talent. They got a great offensive side of the ball led by a tremendous quarterback. They got a linebacker that most everybody wants that I think that they're lucking into Alabama getting him. Just named to the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, which before we end this first hour of the program, I'll run down those roster nominations. They aren't nominations anymore. They have been named. They were named this week. So I'll run down those players here in the state of Alabama that were named to that roster. But a great win last night for Muscle Shoals, 49-13 over Decatur. A game in which Brett and I called last night. It was Opelika 45-17 over Benjamin Russell. Tough loss for our Wildcats, but a great win for Opelika. Opelika's got some athletes. I'm really impressed with Jalen Stinson. He had a kickoff return last night after the Wildcats had cut the score to 31-17 early in the third quarter. Well, we get a personal foul, or excessive celebration in the end zone. 15-yard penalty backs us up. We had kicked it away from Jalen Stinson all night. Going back that 15 yards, we had to try to kick it well down the field. Stinson was back there. I think the ball went through his brother's hands. He able to run around, pick it up on that right side, run through 2 or 3 tackles down the right sideline, and it was Anthony Schwartz speed from there. He took off. We had no one that could catch up with him. Jalen Stinson heading to Purdue to play his college football. He's an exciting player for the Bulldogs. They've got a number of great athletes over there. I was very impressed with their quarterback, Brody Davis, last night. I was impressed with their offensive coaching staff, dialing up some plays that matched some blitz packages that we had in play, ran it right at us whenever we showed blitz, and some good play calls there. But I was really proud of our Wildcats also after I move on from a great win by Opelika. Congratulations, that community. There's no community here in the state of Alabama, and I love high school sports, and I will always love high school sport. There's no community in the state of Alabama that embraces a program any more than Opelika does. That's a community that's always loved their football team, always loved their band, one of the best ones in the state. All those things combined come together, and if you haven't been to Opelika to see their new stadium, you really should, because it's top-notch, one of the best here in the state of Alabama. So congratulations to them. But I was proud of our Wildcats last night. We could have easily folded down 31-3 at halftime, come back out in the second half, go into a power formation with a tackle over, really a Wildcat back there in the backfield with 2 strong bull-type running backs as we move our linebacker, Brett Pitts, over. And the first play there of the second half, we go 70 yards down the left sideline for a touchdown. That was a great run and a great job by our Wildcats to get back in the ball game. Next possession for Opelika. Opelika throws a pick. There's a pick 6 by Denzel Green, closes the gap to 14. If you listen to Brett and myself, whenever it comes to that type of plays, we were excited. I thought we were leaning on them pretty good at that time, and the Wildcats had some momentum going. But nonetheless, Opelika closed that with a great two more scores, and really the last quarter of the football game, Opelika and Benjamin Russell had wholesale substitutions as the Bulldogs had kind of imposed their will and won the football game. So congratulations, but no hard feelings here for this Wildcat. I was proud of our kids. There's no give up. We play physical. Just got beat by a better football team last night, and Opelika is a better football team than most out there here in the state of Alabama. So congratulations to them. If you want to talk more about that game, I would appreciate your phone calls, 256-234-6221. As it looks like I will be up here, the Lone Ranger, with you this morning. We'll have some phone calls in to talk some Alabama and Auburn football as well. It was Paul Bryant, 12 over McAdory, 6. We were just up with our AHSA radio network crew. We call it a crew, but it's really just Caleb Brooks traveling the state of Alabama like a gypsy, out by himself, getting interviews with players, administrators, coaches throughout the state. And Caleb was at Paul Bryant, and he said, that is a program to watch out for because of the facilities, because of the enrollment that they have, the students that they have there on campus. We've had the privy of seeing how good they can be on the basketball court for a few years, but we'll see what they can put together on the football field also. Auburn right now, Seth Williams right there at receiver, making a big impact in the SEC from Paul Bryant. But this is a fairly new school, and this school kind of getting their sea legs under them. We'll see what they'll do in high school football here as we move forward. But a really good victory for them last night over a game McAdory team, 12-6. It was Pelham 31, Carver, Birmingham 20. Pell City 45-6 over Etowah. That's an eye-opening score. Etowah continues to consistently win, much like they did when I was coming through school in the 90s. You didn't want to play Etowah in anything. Freddie Kitchens was their quarterback. Cadillac Williams a few years later at running back. You did not want Etowah. And it has since to be that type of environment in Etowah right now. Pell City wanted none of that last night as they take down Etowah 45-6. Pinson Valley over a game Gardendale team 21-0. That one was 0-0 well into the football game. It's hard to tell on Twitter exactly how much time's left in the game as we're out calling. But looking down, I think it was in the third quarter and still 0-0 last night. Gardendale unable to score the football. A little bit different Pinson Valley team than we've seen under Bo Nix at quarterback and his father, Pat Nix, coaching. Maybe not the offensive firepower that we've seen in years past, but if you can beat a good Gardendale team and shut them out, you're finding ways to win. And we know they're coached up as well as anyone here in the state of Alabama. A great victory for Pinson Valley last night, 21-0. It was Saraland 42, Gulf Shores 10. Saraland, the best team, I believe, right now in 6A. It may not play out that way, but Saraland goes to the finals last year, lose a heartbreaker to Pinson Valley late in the football game. Jeff Kelly does an unbelievably good job down there in the southern half of the state in getting his team prepared. They're a consistent winner also. They were there last year, returned a lot of great talent again this year. Let's watch out for Saraland as Class 6A comes to a close. Closing out Class 6A, Selma, 46-27 over Calera. Sidney Lanier, 12-0 over Russell County. It was Stanhope, 28-20 over Wetumpka. Stanhope moves to 6-1 in the state this year. Congratulations to St. Paul's. Big victory over Spanish Fort last night, 35-30. We'll go ahead and take another break here on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown.
Listen up, America. Millions of Americans just like you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and are facing liens, bank levies, wage garnishments, penalty abatements, and other IRS enforcement actions. Newly authorized debt forgiveness programs allow you to settle your debts for less than ever before. Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? If so, then call Tax Savings Helpline now.
Please call 800-980-7190. WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Ox Foundations. This week's matchup will feature the Thorsby Rebels versus the Fayetteville Wolves. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks of the playoffs. WOTM, the home of AHSAA Super 7, live from Jordan Hare.
What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
Cater your tailgate and game day parties with Chicken Salad Chick. All the Chick favorites like Buffalo Barkley, Kickin' Kaylin, and Sassy Scotty make the perfect dips and sandwich platters. Chicken Salad Chick is always a great choice when planning for a crowd. Our grab-and-go quick chicks make it easy. And now for a limited time, Rockin' Rita is back. Made with Wickles spicy red relish, this flavor has a kick of spice. Chicken Salad Chick and fall football, the perfect matchup.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Morrison Haynes Law Firm in Alexander City are proud members of our community. Our team of dedicated employees live, work, and support in our local communities, and we are all actively engaged in our hometowns. Just like all area players, parents, and coaches, we are committed to the betterment of our local area and want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this fall. The Morrison Haynes Law Firm in Alexander City, a proud supporter of all area athletics.
Welcome back into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. I think we got a few phone calls coming through and want to say thank you at least to all of those out there that are tuning in. Hopefully you're able to still pull us in on the radio side. We're having a few technical difficulties up here for TV. If you are wanting to tune in, though, you can pull us up on our social media outlets as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, up and down the line. We have our show streamed on each one of those. So go out there and find us on social media if you are struggling finding us on the TV outlets this morning with the audio. They are up here working on it, so I will update you as we get that straightened out. 256-234-6221. Want to thank Advanced Heating and Air for their sponsorship here on this segment. We'll go to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Hey, how's it going, Randy?
Well, I'm good. Who are we talking to this morning?
You got Stacy Mills this morning. I saw you on there soloing, and I figured I'd give you a little call in and see how things are going on your end of town.
Trust me, I'm very appreciative to have you call in this morning. We have another host on his way. I don't know if you've ever been in that position before, but sometimes you just got to roll with the punches, and I'm rolling with them this morning. But great high school football Friday last night, a lot of big region matchups. Were you able to get out and see one?
Oh yeah, Randy. You know. Of course, we're covering Prattville on Friday night.
This is Stacy. My bad. Last night. My bad, Stacy. I didn't hear that I didn't hear your name when you first said that. But
okay.
Yes.
No problem.
Hey, that was a big win last night for Prattville, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely a defining win for our rebuild. It was a very very strong lead football team that we took control of early in the game. Defensively, can't say enough about Coach Granger Shook as he's taken over the defense coordinator this year. Defense has just been playing absolutely lights out, allowing only 54 yards rushing last night and about $160 passing. So it was it was just an unbelievable effort by the defense, just totally dominating. As you said earlier, a very, very talented Lee team. I mean, they got 3 6'4" receivers that they just keep throwing lob balls to all the time. But our guys stepped up to the challenge, a lot of helping over the top and everything, and they got into the red zone 4 or 5 times, but they got on all those 4. They only got a field goal out of four trips into the red zone. So you got to tip your hat to the job that Coach Shook's defense did last night.
Got my good friend Stacy Mills on, who is our lead producer on the AHSA radio network, and I don't know if there is a bigger Prattville Lions fan anywhere in the world. Caleb Ross, Stacy, while I've got you here, Caleb's doing a tremendous job. You can just sense things are building, things are getting back to that state of the program that we saw Prattville in for at least well over a decade led by Bill Clark and then Jamie DuBose and so many great coaches and players that came through that program. Can you talk a bit about what you see that Caleb's doing that kind of is similar to what you saw during those great years?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The personality of Caleb Ross is a lot like Bill Clark. As we know, Jamie DuBose is a good friend of mine. He's a high emotion kind of guy coaching. Caleb Ross is also a high emotional kind of guy, but he's kind of a burning fire kind of deal, if you know what I mean. Like last night, playing as good as you could possibly play defensively against Lee last night, and at the end of the game, he's still not satisfied with the outcome because he knew we should have put more points on the board. We still on the offensive side of the ball, still very very young and a very small offensive line for 7A football. So he's not satisfied with a 20-3 win over Lee, and I got a chance to talk to him after we got broke down and everything and down on the field after the game. Still 20, 30 minutes after the game, still kind of got that little steam coming out of his ears because he knew it should have been more. And that's the kind of guy you want running your program. He's never satisfied with a win.
Prattville, just great programs up and down. Stacy, before I let you go, who do you have coming up? And how is the playoff set up currently for Prattville? Like, who are you matched up with? Which region? You probably already have a pretty good feel of who you're going to see there in the first round as well.
Yeah, well, next week we'll have a Thursday night game at Crampton Bowl versus Jeff Davis, another big region game for us. As the region is shaking out, like I said, last night was a big win for Prattville as far as being able to host a playoff game into in the opening rounds. Of course, right now Central is out in front, and barring an upset, they're going to go. They should go on and take the number 1 spot. But right now we're in a 3-way tie for the second spot with us, Lee, and Auburn, which we will have and we'll be hosting in 2 weeks. So as that's shaping up, if we can go on and take care of business for the rest of the season, we're looking at hosting the number 3 seed from region 1 down in Mobile. You're looking at a possible Fairhope or Theodore, somewhere in that one of those teams down there. That's still got a lot of shaking out to do down there too. So it's still a long way to go, but it was like I said, last night was a big victory for Prattville to get them lined up for a playoff for a good chance to host a playoff game here at the end of the year.
Stacy, thanks for the phone call this morning, buddy, and congratulations to Prattville, and look forward to be working with you here shortly. We'll be back at Jordan-Hare this year for the Super 7. You'll be producing all of that, and you do a tremendous job. We can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Randy. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, and that's Stacy Mills, Prattville Lions fan, producer. He's also a great talker about his Prattville Lions program also, and wow, Caleb Ross with a 20-3 victory over Robert E. Lee last night. That's a good win, and congratulations to them as they move on. I'm going to run down a couple of 5A scores, and then we'll go to another break. When we come back, hopefully I'll be able to catch up with Brett Pritchard, as Brett's going to call in and give his thoughts last night on the game that he and I were out to call, and big victory for Opelika 45-17. Here's a few scores in Class 5A as we close this out, though. Alexandria 16-10 over Sardis last night. Arab 36-14 over East Limestone. Bibb County 54-0 over Jimison. Boaz 46-15 over Crossville. Brewer 24-17 over Ardmore. Great victory for Briarwood Christian last night, 48-16 over John Carroll Catholic. Centerpoint 40, Springville 7. It was Central Tuscaloosa 42-38 over Marbury. Citronelle 28, Satsuma 16. Corner 28-0 over Dora. Demopolis 41-7 over Shelby County. Faith Academy 59-0 over Wilcox Central. Greenville 21, Charles Henderson nothing. Harris County, Georgia 38-14 over Beauregard. Big win again last night for the number 1 team in Class 5A in Jasper as they take down West Point 42-7. Got a couple of other key scores that we'll run down. Mortimer Jordan with a massive victory over Central Clay, the defending Class 5A state champion last night, 34-28. A couple of tough losses in the last couple of weeks for Central Clay, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. We're up against another break. We'll be right back here on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Boaters in the Lake Martin area know whether you need service, maintenance, repairs, a great selection of pre-owned boats, or a brand new pontoon. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280 is there for you. Thanks to a record-setting sales year, Alex City Marine now has one of the finest pre-owned inventories they've ever had. Repairs, service, routine maintenance, for all your boating needs. See the pros the locals know. Alex City Marine at the corner of 63 and 280. Check them out online at alexcitymarine.com.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. The days are long, but the nights are hot at Copper's Grill at Stillwater's with local live entertainment Friday and Saturday night and a surprisingly delicious weekend special from the head chef that'll make you come back for more. Come by boat or by land to Copper's Grill at Stillwater's. Casual dining at its best.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Glad to see Scott Hardy. I've been glad to see him many times before in this life, mainly when he was going to clean screens and I wasn't going to have to. But I'm glad to see you this morning doing what you actually enjoy doing, which is running your mouth. You didn't enjoy cleaning screens, did you?
No, but it gave me some good thinking time back there. You get to learn a lot. And
yes, you do.
You do learn that. But I do apologize for leaving you out here. I had a mix-up on the schedule, but we'll get things going back for the next hour and 20.
Well, you just walked in, and you walked in at a perfect time because Brett Pritchard's going to call in and talk now, and he's going to give his thoughts on the game last night. Brett, glad to have you, buddy.
What's up, guys? How are y'all?
We're good. Did you make it to Florida? And are you looking forward to being at the Swamp today before we get started on high school football?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, we're in Valdosta, Georgia. We made the drive last night, and we'll make the rest of the trek here in a little bit. But game day in Gainesville today, and just a big matchup. Hadn't been a big matchup in the Swamp like this in quite some time, and it's been a while since Auburn has played down here. Since 2007, and last time that happened turned out really good for Auburn. West Byram able to kick a game-winning field goal. Auburn was unranked, and Florida was the number 4 team in the country. So a little bit different states here. Both teams undefeated. Both teams ranked in the top 10. It'll be a big game here this afternoon.
Brett, not going to talk to you about Auburn much today. I'm going to talk to you about high school football last night. I'll start with a very random topic, and that is the weather seems to be breaking a little, doesn't it? It was bearable last night, and a beautiful facility over there in Opelika. Every time we go over, I'm kind of taken back at what Opelika's built as far as facilities go, and super people, really nice to us. We know a lot of those guys over there, so good night for high school football. Congratulations to Opelika on a big victory.
Yeah, no doubt. Opelika, they played well. The facility, as you said, is basically the same core of what they've had. They've just been able to renovate and enhance their facility, and that just shows you don't have to tear something down and rebuild. You can take the base of what you have, and both sides of that stadium are still the original concrete slab seats. And so they've been able to go in there and repaint and add on. And, of course, it doesn't hurt to add a multi-million-dollar indoor facility to the north end zone. And then on the south end zone, you add a $300,000 and some jumbotron. It makes it look pretty nice. And then you put that turf field down. It does. It really, really looks good. And Opelika's been a team that there's no secret. There's not a lot of love lost between Benjamin Russell and Opelika. That's what makes the game fun. But at the end of the day, when you walk off the field, both programs have respect for each other. Like you said, we got a lot of friends over there, and when the ball's kicked off, it's all business. But after that, we all come back together and be friends. And Opelika's been a program that has had a tremendous amount of success. They've won a lot of games, but they just, for whatever reason, have not been able to hang a lot of banners. And there's programs out there like that. That's why it's so special when you're able to get over the hump and win a championship, whether it be in high school or college. And we've been fortunate enough to hang 3 banners at Benjamin Russell, and that's 3 more than a lot of schools in the state. So you take those for what they're worth. But Opelika last night jumped out on us just like we've had a couple teams do this year, and we fought back in the third quarter. I thought our guys came out of the locker room with a renewed spirit. It'd be easy on the road against a very good team like Opelika just to fold 10. We didn't do that. We went in the opposite direction. We came out and put 14 points on the board and cut it to 14, and we're kicking off and had all the momentum, and they make a tremendous play in special teams and return a kickoff for a touchdown that swung things right back in their direction. That's what good teams do. Good teams take advantage of opportunities, and they were able to stave off a comeback from us. But I was proud of our guys, considering the circumstances that they were put in.
Yeah, it was a tough start to the football game, going down 31-3, but a game team from us to be able to come back and do what we did in the second half. But congratulations to Opelika on a big victory last night. Look, there's probably no chance that I can see for the Wildcats getting into the playoffs this year, but at 3-4, Brett, if there's one thing you can play for, it's a winning season. And winning seasons in programs, I think, means something. Your thoughts on that as we got a couple more minutes left here on the segment?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, you look at it from a standpoint of whoever ends up with a winning record across the state, that's important, especially when you lose the opportunity to go to the playoffs. That's the first and foremost goal of every team every year is to make it to the postseason, to make it to the playoffs. And unfortunately, we've let some games get away from us this year. Stanhope seems to be playing extremely well right now. That was a team that if we could have generated some offense that night, we would have won, and I feel like we would have won easily. We went over to Selma, and everybody would like to have had that one back. Both sides of the ball, defense, offense, special teams, just did not play well at all that night. And it just shows you you don't bring your A game every night. You can get beat. And Selma beats Calera, so they have the tiebreaker over us. And the only way they would be able to not go is to really there is no other way to go, Randy. Like we talked about when they won against Calera last night, that pretty much solidified them into that top four. And Stanhope is going to be challenging to win the region now. They defeat Wetumpka. They've still got Opelika. They may be playing better than anybody in our region, and they did this last year. But, hindsight's 2020. We'd love to have a few of those games back. But like you said, the goal left ahead is to try to win out, and they can. We got Wetumpka Thursday, and then we turn around and we finish up with Calera and Valley. And if you win those three games, you finish the season with a winning record, and I think that's important.
Definitely agree, Brett. Y'all have a good time, buddy. Send us some pictures. Pull us through today. Big game for Auburn down on the road. Have you seen many Auburn fans on your trek so far?
Oh, my goodness. There's not a room to be had from Tifton, Georgia, all the way to Valdosta. Not a single hotel room available. And it's all Auburn people. I've never seen anything like it. So it's going to be an Auburn invasion down here in Gainesville, it looks like.
Good luck, Brett. Look forward to it, buddy, and thank you for calling in.
Appreciate it.
Scotty, what's up with you?
How far away?
We got a whole 30 seconds. What you been doing?
Well, I was prepping for my conversations on what we might have about last night's football game and potentially the overall scope of the program in general. I have some thoughts on that.
All right. Well, we'll welcome them in as we come back on this next segment. If you're here in the state of Alabama, if you're just tuning us in, you can't find us on TV. If I'm talking on TV and you're like, where's the voice, where's the audio, go to social media, pull us in. Having a few technical difficulties that we're working through. We want to thank Reed and Ryan and all the efforts that they're doing here at the television station to get those corrected. Radio will hopefully be back up and going at some point in time, but if not, that's the beauty of social media, and that's the beauty of us trying to keep up with the Joneses out there. We want to give you an opportunity to tune us in on all kinds of outlets, and we have done that now.
Y'all are everywhere.
Yeah, it's
we're everywhere. It's,
I got to tip my hat to our good friend Justin Clayton. Justin Clayton is a complete and total techie nerd, and thank the Lord for him because he keeps us on the cutting edge, and I feel like we are there right now with all of our programming. 256-234-6221 is the phone number. We'll take your phone calls on the next segment. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
The The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn on South College. Kia's at 0% financing and no payments for 90 days.
Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn.com.
This is Coach Pat Dye. At Kia of Auburn, you are always number one.
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to goreesfurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
Atlanta's hottest music event is here. ATL Live at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Friday, November 15th. Don't miss Keith Urban, Blake Shelton, Sam Hunt, Sugarland, Judah the Lion, and Kale Dove. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Glad to have Scott Hardy up here with us, and thanks to Satterfield out on Highway 280 for being a great sponsor of our Sports Blitz programming for quite some time now, as we are in our 15th football season, I believe. I throw a random number out there because I get old and I don't really remember exactly how many. I just know I'm in my 15th football season calling high school football here in the state of Alabama, so I'll just say that we were on air shortly thereafter. So thanks for tuning in. Scott, we're talking a little bit, and we'll continue this over, and I'll run down the rest of the scores here in the state in the follow-up segment. But a tough loss for Benjamin Russell last night. You've been on the broadcast team with us for quite some time. Last year you go over and do your political jaunt, and so this year you're getting married, so we're not trying to weigh you down with any extra time constraints on your hand. But good win for Opelika last night. But talk about the community also here in Alexander City, because you being a city councilman, you have pretty good insight on what's going on.
Yeah, and the things you and Brett were speaking about in terms of the upgrades to the facilities and even the building of a new facility, those things matter, and they're being generated through tax dollars. And obviously Alex City doesn't have a Tiger Town, and a lot of that is because of that. So we can't compete on that level in terms of that. But there are certain things from a community standpoint, at least from just a engagement standpoint. Maybe you can't do it financially, but to see what I've seen in the stands, and I'll just be honest about it, what I've seen in the stands is not reflective of what the culture of Benjamin Russell athletic or football that I grew up participating in. And so when we were coming up, and that was due a lot to the success of what during your tenure there as well, but when we were coming up, there was no debate on what you were doing on Friday night. We traveled to Florida to watch them play. It didn't matter. You were going to watch Benjamin Russell. A lot of that had to do because the team was successful. So obviously, if the team isn't doing as well, then that's going to affect your attendance. But the things that Benjamin Russell is facing comparative to where we were 15 years ago, can't really put all of that on the blame of whoever the coach is, whoever the players are. We don't have the same pool of community. We don't have the same depth. Like I just don't think we have it. We were just talking about in the last 20 years we've lost 200 kids compared to where we were when you were in school, and that may not, or 30 years. That may not sound like a lot, but it is when you're looking at other schools like you just mentioned, the Stanhope. Those are communities that are starting to rise, so they're taking Alexander City's spot, essentially. Not Alex City, but Benjamin Russell. And it's important that from a financial standpoint, anybody that can contribute, do so, but also from a support standpoint, that means more than anything for a community our size, because success athletically is a lot of times tied to how you're doing as a community. So clearly, from my standpoint, I have to do a better job to make sure that the success of the programs is tied, because I know our success is tied to their success as well. So a lot of that is just talking, but a lot of what is happening athletically is going to fall back on the city and what we have to do, and that goes back to investing in education and doing a better job for the workforce development.
New school coming. I think that is a done deal, isn't it, Scott?
Yes.
And that will, from a morale standpoint, that will be big. It's big in a lot of other communities here throughout the state. Caleb Brooks is doing a tremendous job for us. I'm really proud of Caleb, and he can talk to a hole in the wall, and that goes a long way when you're out interviewing. But Caleb's texts to us, Scott, are pretty consistent. Man, this program, these facilities over here in Coleman, or these facilities over here in Helena, or these facilities that I'm seeing, it's not just us. It's a large part of the state that gets that investing in their kids and investing in programs and facilities go a long way to what you're doing as a city employee, and that's overall morale of the community, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's not, and that's not to by any means say I think that the Sportplex is hands down the best high school stadium that you will find.
Agree.
But outside of that, you say who needs to practice just a football facility? Well, if all of your neighboring communities and the communities that you're competing against, both from a municipal level and athletically, they're doing certain things, well, at some point, it's not just keeping up with the Joneses. You're doing what you have to do to survive as a program. And so there's just certain things that I'm seeing that I'm trying to think about this the best way. I just don't think that there's the same commitment to the program from a community standpoint that there was previously. And again, I know a lot of that is tied to the success of the teams. I'm not speaking about financially. There's still that's good there, but I think that there has to be better support from the community. The student section isn't as great as it used to be, and I was speaking with someone, and I wouldn't have known this, but it was just a culture built that Benjamin Russell was winning. Prior to the state championship appearance in '97, Benjamin Russell never made it past the quarterfinals.
That's right. That's right.
So as a kid, though, I would never have assumed that. I would just assume we were a great program. So the consistency in getting 7-8 wins a year and then making it to that does wonders for a program. So it wasn't like Benjamin Russell has always been this, we're going to the semifinals, all of that. So I think the expectation level needs to be adjusted, one, and call it is what it is right now. Right now, we're not in a position to compete consistently with the top teams that are in our classification. However, if we were in 5A, that probably changes immediately. So there's some things that could be looked at there. But I don't think that we're as far away from we're better than what some of the support we've been getting. And that's just a personal thing for me, because I know what these kids are doing on a daily basis, and there's a lot of chatter in the community, and they hear that. So just show up and support.
Yeah, it's a good point. We got about a minute and a half left here on this program. I'll give you some whole numbers out there. Class 5A starts at around 600 in total enrollment, and that's 10 through 12. Our last number I saw, we're at 650 in last, but last number I saw currently in the school, 10 through 12, about 610 to 615. So we're about 10 to 15 to 20 students in 3 grades from being a 5A program. Chilton County is the largest 5A program in the state, at 597 students in the top 3. Gives you the number. So we're about 15 to 20 students from there. The top of Class 6A is about 1,100 students. Opelika, that we played last night, they're in the top 10 in Class 6A. I don't know that they'll bump to 7A, but they've got a good chance to. They're at about 970 to 1,000 students in the top 3. What are you saying, Randy? I'm saying in a 20-year span, we've lost 220 to 250 students in the top 3. And programs like that have maybe gained 150 to 200 students in the top 3. So you've got about 400 total students separation in your largest in Class 6A and smallest. I am by no means up here arguing that that needs to change and that's unfair. I think it's fair enough. Is it tough to compete? Yes, it is, but it's always been extremely tough when you have our enrollment and you have to play others. Class 7A's really helped with that, though. You know, our whole stretch of going through school that you're talking about and only making it to the quarterfinals, you know, we go over and lose to a 1,500 enrollment Phoenix City team in the quarterfinals when I'm in school. 7-0.
Now that wasn't say on that.
No, I know it. But I'm not. I didn't take any offense to that. I'm saying that though we're sitting there as one of the smallest schools in Class 6A at that time, playing against some big monsters, having competitive teams, not winning state championships. You know, your expectations have to be muted. You have to understand what you're competing against, and so I hear you loud and clear. It's a tough role. We've had some really good years. We're kind of riding the roller coaster. It's got a lot of this state rides it, don't.
Which is what.
That's the reason that those programs that are consistent winners are just that much more impressive to me. And I've kind of built into what I'm talking, and I've said it a bunch up here today. Consistent winning program. Saraland, consistent winner that Jeff Kelly's pulling off down there. Number of programs. Mountain Brook now. Consistent winner over there in Class 7A, year in and year out. They may not be winning state championships. They get 8, 9, 10, 11 wins a year. Very, very impressive. We'll talk a little bit more about that, move into college sports as well in the second hour of the program. Thank you for calling in out there, 256-234-6221. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
You don't want to miss this, the $79 Eliminator Sale. This Saturday only at Superior Hyundai of Anniston. Get a car for $79. Done deal. Or $79 down or $79 a month. Get there. Pre-register at 8 a.m. At 9:45, we open the gates. You find the pre-owned vehicle you're in love with. You'll have first chance when the Eliminator comes around at 10 a.m. sharp. Slashing prices. Don't worry about the weather. Just be there. Details, call now. 256-236-7651. Superior Hyundai of Anniston. The $79 Eliminator Sale. Rain or shine, don't miss it.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
An important message from Jacoby and Myers. For decades, many Americans working in the trades were exposed to environmental hazards without their knowledge. The result, thousands of cases of asbestos-induced mesothelioma and lung cancer. During the past 4 decades, $18 billion has been awarded to individuals with qualifying injuries. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed in the last 4 years with asbestos-related lung cancer or mesothelioma, call today.
Call 800-848-0074.
WOTM, your TV home for high school sports in Alabama. This Thursday on WOTM, catch the AHSAA High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Hawks Foundations. This week's matchup will feature the Thorsby Rebels versus the Fayetteville Wolves. Stay with WOTM through the postseason for live games all 4 weeks of the playoffs. WOTM, the home of AHSAA Super 7, live from Jordan Hare.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging.
No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Hondas are the best vehicles on the road, so why not get the state's best prices and incentives? Lynn Gannam and Freeway Honda deliver, and it's always worth the drive. Tell them, Lynn.
We have the best deals. We have statewide specials. That's right. Pick out your car choice, send us a message. We'll prepare the deal. We'll bring it to your residence. Do not worry. We are #1 with deliveries in the state of Alabama. We will handle the paperwork and everything.
Shop Freeway Honda, I-20 West in Birmingham, or freewayhondaal.com for the state's best prices on new Hondas.